Welcome back to New Rockstars. The sun has set and the moon is rising. That's right, Moon Night is finally here. So chain yourself to a pole, pour some sand around the bed, and grab a box of chocolates, because it's time to talk some Moon Night. This is Rogue Theory, the show where we pitch the wildest theories for the nerdy titles that we love. My name is off-screen producer Brandon, and going rogue with me today is the godlike, omnipotent voice in my head. It's Jessica Clemons.
Hello. Oh my God.
You're always telling me what to do, Jessica, and I listen every time. And someone whose life would surely be deemed worthy, it's Whitney Van Laningham.
Listen, as long as Daddy Moon Knight deems me worthy, that is all I care about.
What a snack he is.
He's
What
such
a snack he
gosh
is.
dang snack.
And speaking of snacks, a man ready to fight anyone or anything in a museum bathroom, it's Tommy Bechtold.
Hello, friends. How are you? I am
Oh.
a person from England, and I've been hiding that fact this whole time.
Whoa.
I never knew. It's a beautiful accent, Tommy. I
Thank
think
you.
both your
Lovely.
American and your British accent is perfect.
Well, I really appreciate that. Laters, Gators.
Oh God.
Stop trying to make laters gators happen. It's never gonna happen, Tommy.
Yeah, it's never gonna happen.
That's so fetch. All right, let's get it on.
Yeah, let's get it on. We're here to talk about Moon Knight. And we know this series is clearly going to explore Egyptian mythology, of course, as it relates to the MCU. And these gods are going to be interfering in the lives of us earthly mortals. But which gods do we need to be so afraid of? That leads us to our first topic today. Who are the missing gods? Okay? If you remember in the episode, at the museum, Stephen Grant points out that the poster celebrating the Ennead, however you want to say it, the poster showcase only 7 gods when there should be 9. Come on, everyone knows there's 9 gods in the Ennead. Come on, guys, get your act together. You're a
Morons.
museum, for Christ's
You're
sake.
a museum, and Stephen Grant has to actually you like get
Right,
your
he's
shit
just working the
together.
gift shop.
Dude,
Come
he's-
on, come
yeah,
on.
it's like, come on. And then like his bitchy boss is like, are you auditioning again to be a tour guide? And it's like, yeah, why not? He's really good at it. Why are you being an
Yeah,
asshole
he knows
about
way
it?
more than he should. He's an
he
expert.
knows a lot. And clearly children enjoy him. He's great with kids. He's cool. Like, I think that they should
Put him
just
front
let
and center. Plus,
Put
he's
him-
a snack. Come on,
He's a
everyone
total
wants
snack.
a hot
Yeah,
tour
also
guide.
he's hot. Hot people are never treated that poorly in the workplace. I'm sorry, but they're just not. Like, that woman would not be treating Oscar Isaac. that
Well,
way.
you know he's hot because he has like insane, like psychotic break, and he's still going on a date with a very attractive person. Like,
Oh yeah, he
can still get it. Yeah.
can get it.
she's
even-
like, you know
even
what?
though-
I don't care if this guy disappears for weeks at a time. I'll have a steak with him. That sounds
Yeah,
great.
I'll have a steak with this man.
I don't care that he disappears every week sometimes.
I also loved that
Well-
he was like, oh no, it's such a problem that I have chains on my bed. No woman will want me. And I'm like,
Yeah,
Stephen,
I
that
know.
is where you are wrong.
I think
my friend.
you're going to get
There
a very
many
niche role of
women.
woman right there. Yeah. Well, who do we think that Stephen was talking about? Who are these 2 gods that we think are missing on the poster? You guys have some thoughts around that?
Yeah, obviously Mephisto.
Yeah, it's
no,
definitely
yes,
Mephisto.
yes.
Well, I
for
think
sure.
one's got to be Khonshu, right? Like one's got to be the big K, special K. The big.
Well-
That would make a lot of sense, right?
So let's quickly recap who is part of the Ennead, because there's a certain set of gods who are on it. So the members of the Ennead are Horus, Osiris, Tefnut, Shu, Adam, Isis, Set, Jeb or Geb, depending on if you pronounce it like GIF or GIF, and then Nut. There's literally a guy named Nut.
Nut.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that he's the one who's left out because Disney was like, that's too dirty. We're
Yeah.
cutting out the blood and we're cutting out any potential testicle.
Well, we got to
jokes.
bust that nut back on the
We
poster.
gotta bust that nut back on there, you know?
Yeah, bust him back in.
That's the traditional Egyptian Ennead, right?
That's-
In our Egyptian mythology, that's what we see.
Yeah. And then the ones that Steven says he sees on the poster for sure are Adam, Shu, and Osiris. So we know that those 3 are definitely on there.
Right. Even though Osiris is not a traditional Ennead from our Egyptian mythology. In the MCU, maybe it's one of their Ennead, right?
So is it just Khonshu and that death goddess that Ethan Hawke worships? Maybe the two of them.
Well, you could have
Maybe.
Amit on there, but Amit's not traditionally a
She's
full-blown goddess, right? She
Yeah,
is like
she's-
more of a demon or a
The
I don't know what you
She's a
call it.
boogeyman.
A devourer of the dead.
She's metal as whatever she is.
She works for Anubis usually. Anubis
Yeah.
utilizes her to like eat the hearts, the bad
Yeah.
hearts.
You gotta eat those hearts. I'm trying to think here then. What makes the most sense? Who's missing? Who? Because we're playing by a different set of rules, right? Like this is the Marvel version of this super team. Maybe they're the Eternals. I saw that. Someone tweeted that out.
Ooh,
that
that'd
those
be
gods
fun.
are all
Oh,
based on the
okay.
Eternals.
So there could be missing Eternals from this this poster, and maybe
Yes.
they could show up in the show. Maybe, possibly.
Maybe. Why not?
Whichever
I
ones are
don't-
still alive and or on Earth.
Yeah.
I don't think it's Anubis because they mentioned that they're missing it not only from the poster but from like the art outside of the museum.
Right.
And Anubis is everywhere in that museum, in that store. So I don't think
Yeah.
it's Anubis. I was really trying to zoom and enhance on this thing on Disney Plus, but it didn't. I was getting confused because Bast is a cat. Well, pardon me. And Anubis is the dog-like figure. So I was like, what?
Ah.
I'm trying to differentiate the dog and Bast, but I think it might be Bast. Zooming back in, I think it might be Bast because of what you said, Brandon, holding on to the fact of like Black Panther and the heart-shaped herb and
Right.
everything that go with Bast. I
that
think
could
Bast
be
is a
way
good figure.
cool.
So I think that's what Khonshu or the Sun King himself doesn't want anyone to address Bast yet. They're like, Bast is
Bast.
a good version of us. And Bast. Is it B-A-S-T?
I think you could say it 5 different ways.
Yeah,
Well,
Bast is also.
Well,
I thought it
There's
was
often
B-E-S.
variations of spelling.
It's
Well, there's
I think
variations of
B-A-S-T.
spelling and variations of pronunciation. There's sometimes it's like B-A-A-S-T, sometimes it's like
Yeah.
B-A-S apostrophe T. So yeah, it can kind of bounce around. But I like that idea, Jessica, because in Marvel Comics, Bast is usually represented in the Ennead because obviously with the connection to Wakanda and the heart-shaped herb, and like Ra's heart potentially becoming the heart-shaped herb. That would be very interesting. That's my hope is that they try and tie in Bast to the show somehow to kind of make that connection of like Wakanda to the Ennead and like the whole backstory there. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
But I think
could
you're also
be
on the right
cool.
track with like Khonshu being left off the
Yeah.
poster because that might be why he's so pissed, right?
Right.
That's why he's using Mark Spector / Stephen Grant. He's like, you got to get me on this poster.
Yeah,
I should
dude.
be on the
Well, you
poster.
have to
I
get me
think
back on
that-
I got to
this
sell
poster.
T-shirts.
Yeah.
I would say,
You gotta
I
move
said,
merch.
when the lovely Whitney was live tweeting during the show, I tweeted and I was like, I think it's Khonshu and Bast. And I think
Yeah.
it's Khonshu because in the comics, Khonshu's not a good person. So I think the other gods don't want to even remember Khonshu. And if you can go through these different timelines and different universes, I think they can make a universe in which we see Mark right now and the rest of the people don't recognize that Khonshu exists. Just Mark. Mark is the only person that's like, we're missing like 2
Oh,
other
like he's been
gods.
wiped
And they're
out.
like, yeah, so he's
Oh.
wiped out. But I think because
Oh,
I
that's
think how they're
interesting.
really holding, how Arthur Harrow's really holding on to Amit and like Anubis. I'm just like, I think everyone's aware that these gods exist, but they're not trying to acknowledge Bast and Khonshu yet. And the only people that would acknowledge them is someone like Mark who can see him and hear him all the time.
I like to imagine there's some poor graphic designer working for the museum. He keeps trying to
Yeah.
add Khonshu and just
Yeah.
keeps having like a heart attack or
Yeah,
something. Just keep dying.
And
I
finally,
just
won't
he's
let
just
him
like,
at it.
"F- it, we have to send it to print as is. I
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah, we can't
Killing.
keep keep killing graphic
we can't
designers.
Keep killing graphic designers.
think
just
that,
for
like-
this
We're going
museum.
through them. Yeah.
Mark will completely harass him and be like, "You're missing 2," and he's like, "I'm not missing 2. Just because you work in the shop doesn't mean I don't work here also. Like there's not a 7th, there's not an 8th, there's not a 9th. Like
Do you
I just
think
feel
it
like
could
everyone
poten-
thinks it doesn't
oh.
exist. No, keep going. Sorry.
Do you think it could potentially be like a Westworld scenario where maybe there
Ooh.
are 9 on the poster and Mark's not seeing it?
Well,
and like
yeah.
the woman his
that's
boss is just like not
interesting.
even looking at it to see if he's right
Well,
or wrong.
I think
She's
that
just
would
like,
be
shut up,
interesting.
Steven. I don't want to.
so. This is a longer cue. I noticed that I think the writer noticed that longer cue that the writer acknowledged that like not all the main characters we see in the comic book won't be in the series. They just didn't have time, so they made nods to them. So that woman could be a nod to the character in the comic book, but I think she's Amit. I think she's the crocodile goddess. I think she's the crocodile goddess, and she's making his life a living hell because in the comic books, she was his therapist, and she kept being like, you can't do this. You have to stay here. And she was like, and he was like, no, there's something weird about this. There's something off about this. And it turned out that she was actually the goddess Amit. So I think that's her, and she's completely disregarding him as a human being and being like, no, you're just crazy. You're stupid. Shut up. Like feeding into his already
is so
like insecurity.
mean to Steven.
Yeah.
They are
She's
horrible
mean
to
Steven.
him.
Khonshu calls him a worm. It's not nice. He's such a nice
Khonshu's
boy.
also an asshole.
Dude, yeah,
Khonshu's also
But
an
he's like
asshole.
a cool asshole.
Yeah,
He's a
I would
cool
marry
asshole.
him.
Like, I want Khonshu to like me, you know?
That elevator
Yeah.
scene, I screamed so hard because it was so good. I was like, ah! It was so good. But that's my theory. Sorry, that's my idea of why.
That's a good theory. That's a
I
good
like
theory.
That's
that
really
theory.
cool, actually. I like that
Yeah.
a lot.
I'm on
Is
board.
there anyone else we think could be missing from this poster?
I am wondering, the other like toy that I saw in the gift shop, they had a bunch of little hippo toys, and I looked it up, and there's a hippo goddess called Tauret, and so I was like, ooh, I wonder if there's gonna be any hippos someday. Maybe. I don't know. I'd like to see that.
This is just off. I hate that I know. I don't hate that I know this. My mom made me read a lot of Egyptian books as a child because I'm black. But I do know that they use the hippopotamus and the crocodile as the goddess Amit because they both like devour man. And I remember I remember being like, yeah, this is why we should be afraid of hippos. So I wonder if that is also a callback to like, maybe she's not a crocodile in this. Maybe she's a hippo. Or maybe the hippo is another dude.
In Egyptian mythology, Amit is a mix of like a lion, a hippo, and an alligator or crocodile. This is the most like deadly things to man in Egypt. In Marvel Comics, they kind of add in the leopard too, and all of the spots on Amit are eyes. Like it's this other like weird thing that Amit can do. So a lot of animal mixing. She's a chimera, you know what I mean? She's a mix of all these animals put together. But some great theories here, gang. I really hope that this is a little clue. It could just be a weird little thing where where Steven's being annoying and pointing out it's wrong and it doesn't add to anything. But it's got to be something. It's got to be a hint.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hand out some rogies. Whitney, we'll give you a rogie. I love the idea of the hippo goddess. You got something, Jessica?
No, I just thought about it. I was like, more reason why. Okay, this is a side note. Don't address it. But the fact that, like, who let Arthur Harrow into the museum after night? And all those people, right?
Dude.
He's got plants. He's got plants.
He has plants, but I was like, one of those plants could be that woman that we all hate, who's actually Amit, that let them through. But
Jessica, it's Project Mayhem. It's Project Mayhem.
This one, I also just want to, if I could jump into this show, I would punch that woman in the throat so hard. Because I'd be like, what's the point? What's the point of making his life like this? Why are you ragging on him?
Why are you so mean to him for no reason?
You know, you don't know what her life is like. She could have it rough at home. She's got to let it out in the museum. All right, Whitney, I'm going to give you a rogue point for your theory about the hippo goddess being left off the poster because I love those cute little hippo plushies.
It's mostly just because I want one of those plushies and I want to buy it. So I want it to matter because I want to have merch of it.
Be careful. Museum gift shops are dangerous. Museum gift shops are dangerous. They are.
Sell them at Disney parks, you cowards. Come on.
Jessica and I both know how much you can spend at a
gift shops for men.
Yes.
Tommy's all in who work at gift shops are as hot as Oscar Isaac. I think I'm just gonna start showing up.
Absolutely.
Showing up at museums.
They could be. Tommy, I'm gonna give you a rogue point for the idea that Khonshu's left off the poster. I mean, it seems so good, so obvious. I love it. Jessica, I gotta give you 2 rogue points because I want it to be Bast so bad. So bad. Dude. Give me that Bast. I want to see it. Let's make these connections. Let's tie
I'm all about that
Bast shot.
You could say that's the Bast theory.
Oh. I could say it, Whitney, but I'm not going to.
I'll see myself out.
Up next, we're going to talk about Arthur Harrow's magic Warachis. But first, right now, head on over to newrockstarsmerch.com and grab the new latest Obsession shirt inspired by Moon Knight. It's a great shirt with a design inspired by Egyptian iconography. Ooh la la. There's a limited supply of these bad boys, so you should grab one quick. It will also unlock the ability to have a shout out read on an upcoming episode of Inside Marvel. You don't want to miss that. If you've always wanted Erik or MT to shout out your pet theory, the love of your life, or your mandatory work softball team, this is your chance. So get it now at newrockstarsmerch.com. Watching Netflix without using ExpressVPN is like buying tickets to a Taylor Swift concert, but only being allowed to watch the first 4 songs. What a bummer! And she didn't even do your favorite one. Netflix has thousands of shows, but without a VPN, you only get access to a fraction of that based on your location. There are other shows and films available in other countries, and you're missing out on them. ExpressVPN lets you change your online location and control where you want Netflix or other streaming services to think you're located. A great example is Rick and Morty. At New Rockstars, we're going to want to rewatch previous seasons ahead of a new season coming out. By switching to Australian Netflix, we can access those. We just open up the app, select Australia, tap one button to connect, refresh the page, and we're off and running. We love how fast the speeds are, letting us stream in HD with zero buffering. ExpressVPN works with other streaming services beside Netflix, including BBC iPlayer, YouTube, and more. So be smart. Stop paying full price for streaming services and only getting a fraction of their content. Get your money's worth at expressvpn.com/rogue. Don't forget to use my link at expressvpn.com/rogue to get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. I'm busy, you're busy, we're all busy. Give me a break. You could save some time in your schedule and still eat really well if you leave your meals to Factor. Factor makes it easy for you to eat clean 24/7 with fresh, never frozen, prepared meals that are so delicious you won't believe they're actually good for you. I refuse to believe it. Factor saves me time by delivering chef-crafted meals to my doorstep, eliminating the hassle of grocery shopping and meal prep. Not to mention cleanup. There's no dishes to wash. I don't even wash dishes. I usually break them on the floor out of frustration. Each Factor meal arrives pre-prepared and ready to eat in 2 minutes. That's even faster than ordering in. Factor tackles the tough stuff so you don't have to. Their registered dietitians and expert chefs work hand in hand to create meals with nutritious ingredients. And with more than 29 meal options each week, I'm never bored. Factor even knows my preferences. They offer vegan and veggie meals, keto meals, low-calorie options, cold-pressed juices, smoothies, energy bites, plant-based bars, extra protein, veggie sides, and more to keep me fueled and focused all day long. Head to go.factor75.com/roguetheory120 and use code roguetheory120 to get $120 off. That's code roguetheory120 at go.factor75.com/roguetheory120 for $120 off. Superheroes have superpowers, but that does not mean that they don't need a skincare routine. Between insomnia and late night fights, there is no sleep for our boy Moon Knight. Get this man some eye cream and a skincare routine already. 50% of guys suffer from issues like dark under eye circles, puffiness, tired eyes, fine lines, and wrinkles. This is where Geology comes in. They will help you make handsome a habit. Geology is a 9-time award-winning men's skincare company recognized in Men's Health, Esquire, and Ask Men Grooming Awards. Geology creates a simple and effective skincare routine customized just for you with ingredients that are proven to work and formulated for daily use. Their products not only help with under-eye circles, but also fight acne, reduce oiliness, and prevent wrinkles. Get on board today by clicking the link in the description. Take a 30-second diagnostic quiz, and with a few clicks, tell them about your skincare and goals. And their team of dermatologists will design a regimen just for you that is shipped directly to your door. It's that simple. We're big fans of Geology products here at New Rockstars. They're easy to use and work great. Head to geology.com and take their free skincare quiz to save up to 50% off your 30-day trial, or just click the link below. That's geologie.com, or click the link below to save 50% off on your 30-day trial. All right, guys, in the first episode of Moon Knight, it doesn't take long for Stephen Grant and Arthur Harrow to cross paths. It's clear that Arthur Harrow is going to be the main villain for this series, and he's no Cinderella, but boy, do we need to talk about his glass slippers. That leads us to our second topic for today. What is up with the pain sandals? I mean, this series begins with Arthur Harrow performing a unique ritual that ends with him putting broken glass in his otherwise comfy leather sandals. What's the reason for this painful foot treatment? Do his followers know he's doing this? Do his shoes get bloody? What is his drinking glass budget? Let's try and figure this out, crew. What is going on with these sandals? Why
Does
is
he have to do
doing
it
this?
every time?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
does he do
Is it a new
every
glass
day,
every time?
or was it like just that one time?
He just keeps shuffling it around until it crumbles to like a fine powder, and then he does it again.
Yeah.
He's keeping restaurant supply companies in business.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
He just goes to a Red Robin and snatches the margarita
And
glasses.
just snatches from
But
around.
seriously, my theory is that he has to be in a state of constant pain to connect to his goddess. That is what tethers him to her, is he's constantly wounded. He's constantly in peril, and that allows him to have a closer connection. I think that's why. That's why I do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why you do it.
Yeah, that's why
There's
I
a
wake
lot
up.
of history of like in different religions, self-flagellation,
Yeah,
things like
absolutely.
that to bring you closer to the suffering, to
Mhm.
understand pain, to understand that stuff.
Mhm.
That's one way to look at it. So you think he does it every day, Tommy? Do you think he's
I
doing
do.
this every day?
I do.
Or just when he's got to do the ritual?
I think it's probably very specific, actually, to when he takes the hands of someone and judges them, and the tattoo never lies. I think it's all connected. I think the feet got to be bloody to get the tattoo up and running. Yeah.
I agree with
Thank you.
Tommy.
Yep.
I just gotta
No
go
further
in.
point.
Oh, okay.
Go further in. We got to go further in.
I agree with Daddy Tommy.
Daddy
So, Daddy Tommy. I think it's worth noting that so the self-flagellation, I think it is close. Like, this is just their ritual of being closer to Amit. But I also think that he's being punished for his past crimes because Dr. Arthur Harrow did perform experiments on humans, and they linked it back to being a Nazi. So I think he probably has a past that's completely horrendous, and he's like, I gave myself fully to Emma, and now I'm her vessel. And I don't think he completely is the vessel, but I do think that's the tethering, is he wasn't just randomly chosen. He was a monster. She chose him, and now he's still being a monster, taking the lives of people through for Amit. But I think it's because he is just he's I brought pain upon all these people, so it's only fair that I give myself pain. But stepping on glass is not anywhere near as close as performing weird experiments on people.
Yeah. So maybe in Marvel Comics he was like a Nazi, right, Jessica?
Yeah.
You say maybe he's like ex Hydra here. He could be one of an
that's
ex-Hydra
true.
agent.
Yeah, that's true. They just tied his experiments back to Auschwitz, and I was like,
okay.
But the MCU, or not the MCU, but Marvel Comics love villains being Nazis. They love turning any bad guy into a Nazi. So I think
that's your ultimate villain right there.
That's your ultimate villain. And it's such easy writing back in the day of just being just make him a Nazi. Just make him a Nazi. Just make him a Nazi. It's bad. But yeah, so I think while he was doing all those experiments, maybe he's still doing the experiments, but I doubt it. I think this is now his newfound life of just I'm no longer gonna hurt people. I'm just going to kill them through this god that I worship. But, finding himself after being bad.
So Tommy, you brought up the idea that and Jessica too, he's got his past transgressions. We do know he mentions that someone betrayed Amit, and that's what has affected her, right? That there was a betrayal at some point. Could he be the betrayer, and this is his penance? Is working for her and punishing himself with the broken glass?
I bet it's freaking Khonshu. And he knows that Khonshu's working through Mark. Or Amit at least does. Or at least they do now because of that whole bus scene or that car cupcake scene. But I think definitely Khonshu probably did something to Anubis. It's so weird because I like Anubis in the comics. But I guess we're trying to set him up to be a bad guy here.
Maybe not. I don't know. He's just guarding the underworld. What do you want him to do?
That's
it's his
true.
job, okay?
Well, okay.
He got
what
that
if?
job.
So what if we are attaching it to? I can't remember who the writer of this run of Moon Knight was, but if we do connect it to the comic book where he is working, he is literally a patient in a psych ward, and Amit is the therapist. What if he got snatched out of that world because he got snatched out of that world and went into a different world where he was escaping with Crowley and all the other people, and Crowley is clearly the gold man.
The statue.
Clearly the gold statue. So what if they did exit that world through Anubis into a new world, and Amit's like, I was betrayed by Khonshu because Khonshu helped him exceed and get out of here. And how dare he?
Okay.
So
I like
How
it.
dare he?
that's my theory. There you go.
I like it. I like
Serving
it a
it
lot.
up. Serving it up Gary's way.
Beautiful. Well, and in that run, Jessica, wasn't Khonshu and Amit working together a little bit when they were trying to trick Mark and
That's
push
what-
him further?
right? Because they were like,
They were
you
kind of
make-
working together to like break Mark down all the way.
Yeah, they could. That's the thing. They could still go with that, but for like just movie and TV and entertainment purposes, they could still have that storyline and make Khonshu betray her in the process and be like, I'm taking Mark for myself. And it's like, we were supposed to do this
that's true.
together.
That's
this is
true.
supposed to be a tag thing. And Emmett is nothing compared to Khonshu. Or not nothing, but is like, Khonshu's much more higher than Emmett. So it's like, I can do whatever I want. I just can't be seen.
Yes.
And that's why I have Mark doing it.
Yes. You were supposed to save the Ennead, not leave it in shattered pieces.
I hate you.
Deuces.
I hate you. Whitney, I gotta ask you, do you think that his followers know he's doing this glass thing? Or is this just for
So
Daddy? Is it
that's
just for him?
Just for Daddy. No, that's actually what I was gonna say. I think that the reason he does it is because in interviews, Ethan Hawke said that he kind of based the character on like David Koresh, the leader of the Branch Davidian from Waco. Shout out to Waco. I lived there for a while. So team.
Not the Branch Davidians, though.
I didn't live in the Branch
No.
Davidians, no, but
Okay.
I did live in Waco
Thank
for a
goodness.
while.
Thank goodness.
I was not in a cult yet, as far as I know. But knowing that the character is based on an actual cult leader, I think that his followers do know that he does this and that he's using it as a psychological manipulation tactic to get them to respect/fear him as a leader. Because, I mean, I'm just thinking about like, I can't think of like specific examples, but like you've seen like religious leaders, like especially those like, like those big mega churches where they perform like the casting out of demons on their followers and shit.
Yes.
Like you've seen people do things where it's like, the Lord is working through me. I will walk across this bed of glass and I won't die. Watch me.
Right.
And like I feel like religious leaders, the bad ones, do that shit to like convince their followers like, oh, God really is working through me. Oh, Amit really is working through him. He can put glass in his shoes and walk around and he's still okay because of the power of believing in Amit.
Look
or
at the
whatever.
pain he can do.
Yeah, look
You've
at
got-
the
I
pain
mean,
he
you've
can
got a great
handle.
point there, Whitney.
Yeah, because that would scare the shit out of me if I was watching a
Right.
dude. Like if I knew for a fact that like my, I guess, boss/pastor, I don't know, like whatever.
Boss
like, was, like,
slash pastor.
yeah, like I don't know, whatever. If I knew he was just like sliding some glass into his Crocs every morning, I'd be
Right.
afraid of that person. I
Oh,
would not
yeah.
want to fuck with that person. So yeah, I think
there's,
I
like,
think
the-
I think it's a manipulation tactic that he's using.
Yeah, there's like, the walking across the hot coals, right? But really you
Yeah,
put a layer of
yes,
ash on
yes,
top
yes,
of it so that
yes.
it's okay.
Yeah.
There's the handling of snakes, but they've taken all the venom or they've cut the fangs
Right.
off of the
Yes.
snake, so it's not
You're
as
right.
dangerous.
Okay, so
Like,
you have better
all those sorts of weird
specific
little
examples
tricks.
than I could think of.
Yeah, this could be like sugar glass, right? It could be
Yeah.
fake glass. And he's,
That
even though no
he-
one's seeing him
he-
do it
No
in his
one's seeing
hotel
him
room,
doing
but
it,
like,
but
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, I think
He's
it's
like,
real,
"This
I
is
don't
just
know
for
why
me."
it stuck to me, but the fact of him taking, we don't know if it's water or vodka.
That's what I was gonna ask too. Is it
or-
water? Is it
Yeah.
vodka? Is it
Yeah,
gin?
it could
What's
be
he
a
was
drinking?
wondering
What
if
if
it
it's
was,
just
like,
straight
holy
freaking
water?
like alcohol, like rubbing alcohol,
Yeah.
and
Oh.
so it's in there. And
Oh.
he dips his hand in it, rims it, and then downs it. So I was like, what
Downs
is
it.
what is the
What is
rimming
the
glass?
little?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
I
stopped
think I
using
feel like
the
that's an
verb
actor's
rimming.
choice right there. I think
I
that's
did
an
too.
Oh,
actor's
it might
I
be.
did too.
It might be.
It looks
Yeah.
I
because we
love
all
him.
remember it. It's great. It's a
love
great
Ethan.
choice. It's a great choice as an actor. to
I
do the
love
little
you,
like rimming
Yeah.
of the glass. It feels great.
You guys just
I
look
think
like
it could
you're
be a
petting
Capri
buttholes
Sun
right now.
Capri
All of
Suns
you.
are clear.
You
Oh.
guys just keep doing this, and it's like, oh, that's a little butthole pet right there.
I mean,
That's a little butthole pet right there.
where's the lie?
Sure
Where's
is.
the lie?
Boop.
Well, I got one last thing to bring up here, and Erik Voss brought this up in his breakdown of the episode. The sand becomes glass, right? Glass is made of sand that's been like superheated and formed into
Yeah.
glass. Do you think there's any connection there that like he's trying to grind it back down into sand, or because it is made of sand, maybe these glasses come from the Sahara and there's pure Saharan glass, and he likes to have it. I think he's stealing
He's
it
like,
from a hotel room, but like, I don't know.
home.
Is there any glass sand connection here, or is that just like something that the director chose as like a connection?
That's interesting. It's very interesting. I didn't think about that.
Don't think,
I know.
okay,
I
so
didn't. I didn't make that
Maybe.
connection. So I was like, "That's." I just.
Yeah.
realistically, I think it wouldn't. I think him stabbing himself in the foot is the self-flagellation. Is the
Self-flagellation. Yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
Is the self-flagellation that he's given himself to tether himself to Emmett. But if we did want to go with Voss's theory, I think that would mean that Arthur Harrow is actually someone else and has the same thing that Mark has, and he could be actually a god of like Earth or something else, where it's like I need to be as close to my like the raw material as it can be. In this small village that I'm running. I think that's the only way you could you could connect that point of just being like, why else if it's sand? Who else could
If
it
he
be?
needs sand, he should just go to Steven's bedroom and scoop a little.
I know, right?
He
Yeah.
doesn't need
Just
to
use
do the
actual
whole
sand.
glass
Don't
thing.
use glass.
Yeah.
It's like,
He
man,
wakes up, he's like, excuse me, I'm just gonna take a little bit for myself.
I'm just gonna hold on.
Pardon me.
I just need a
This.
little bit of
Just take
sand. Also, where is Steven getting that sand for his bedroom? It looks
I
so good.
Yeah, I
Tatooine.
think like
Sand.
really pure, nice.
oh god,
sand.
here comes Tommy with his Tatooine.
I hate
Yeah,
sand. It gets everywhere.
I
course,
think
it's
it's coming
irritating.
out of his freak. I'm so mad about this sand thing because I'm just like, okay, so he's bringing it out of his dreams. He's recognizing that he's going into different places, or he's doing it purposefully. And if he's doing it purposefully, what's the point of doing it purposefully? So that's why I'm like, I think it's coming out of what he thinks. Like he's like, I'm having nightmares, but in reality, he's switching personas or personalities, going all over the place, and he's bringing sand back with him. And so that's why I'm like, you just stepped over the sand that is randomly there.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah. That's
what I
know
was
something's
thinking.
weird about it. You know something's off about it. Maybe you're just not addressing it. You're like, no, I'm just normal British Mark Spector. But it's like, no, you're actually Moon Knight, bitch. Look around. There's no cats here. No sand. Where's the nearest beach in London? Boy, get your ass to thinking. Get your
They
ass
don't got
to
that
thinking.
nice sand in
They
London
don't.
beaches. I can tell you that.
No,
No.
it's
No
all
British
rocks
beach
and
has
glass,
that nice
baby.
of sand.
They have to sell sand for like children's sandboxes though somewhere.
yes.
Right?
Yeah, he could be getting it
He's
from
just
like, a
like
Lowe's.
taking
That's
sand
true.
from a park.
Yeah.
Or the
I
pet
love the
store.
idea that he's-
like a park.
Oh, a pet store, like the nice sand for your geckos or whatever,
Yeah,
for your Savannah
gecko
monitors.
sand.
Got to steal that
Ooh,
sand.
and that lady at the pet store does seem to kind of hate him, so maybe
Everyone
He's
hates
got
him for some
gecko
reason.
Sand missing. I
Well,
know.
because
think-
he comes
well-
in
Just a hot,
2 hours
nice
prior
man.
and just doesn't
Yeah.
recognize that he just
Yeah.
screamed at her about
All
a fish.
right. You know
and then
what?
comes
Yeah.
back and
I
has
think-
the audacity.
I think every pet store owner knows the crazy fish guy and they
Yeah.
hate dealing with them. Plus, the profit margin on a goldfish is so low. You're not making any money selling goldfish. One goldfish?
What
How much
about
could it
it?
cost? $10? Come
She's
on.
like, I'm tired of
Yeah,
asking for
it
these
is
damn
insane.
goldfish. Cat, stop.
Cat, stop. Well, guys, I love all these theories. I think we've got some good stuff going here on the sandals. I hope they really answer all of our questions. I hope 2 full episodes are devoted just to the sandals
Yeah.
on this show.
Absolutely.
I think it'll be great stuff.
And
And
one
then
episode
each of
devoted
you,
to
like-
Sandals Resort.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it's brought to you by
Ooh.
Sandals. I love it.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
it's
gonna
just gonna
give
turn
each
out
of
to
you-
be like one gigantic ad for Dr. Scholl's.
Yeah.
It's like, even with glass in the shoe,
Yes.
Dr. Scholl's makes it so that you have a comfortable experience.
Mhm.
Ooh, I like that at the end. Maybe he is Dr. Scholl's. Maybe
What
that's
if
one of
he
his
is?
other
Oh,
personalities.
what a twist.
That's
He was
how
like, I was just
he's got
giving people
invented.
gel shoes in Auschwitz. I
Inserts.
wasn't doing anything else crazy. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Gel
Jesus.
inserts.
Oh my God. Holy shit.
You deserve to live and to have comfortable shoes.
And to have comfortable shoes.
Yeah. I will get rid of your bunions. I'm going to give each of you 2 rogue points for your great theories and helping us dive into the Hirachi question. I can't wait to learn more about it, and I hope we do get an answer on it. But it's time for our rogue question. Ooh. Are you ready for the rogue question, gang?
Yes.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh. So, during a recent curtain call for a performance of The Music Man on Broadway, Hugh Jackman was handed some foam Wolverine claws and gave the audience a classic Wolverine pose. Really got him going. So here's the rogue question. What musical would you like to see the character Wolverine star in? So take your favorite musical, swap someone out, and put in Wolverine. Oh, you want to see The Music Man?
Could you hear him in The Music Man? We got trouble, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right here in
You got trouble in River City now, motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's not my choice, but that would be so funny. Oh my god!
He's gonna
I love musicals too much to choose The Music Man.
He's gonna turn the 76 trombones into 142 trombones.
Oh,
Cut him in half, baby.
That's fast math.
That's
fast
math. Fast math.
It should be
I'm
152.
looking this up because I just want to see this.
152. Not fast, not good math. That's what it was.
I think I'd like to see Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in Annie, as the titular character.
He's Annie. He's Annie.
Yeah.
He's an orphan.
Absolutely.
Adopt me,
He's lived
bub.
forever. Hey, you're never fully dressed without a smile. Just cutting smiles on people.
Instead of kisses,
that.
we get claws.
We get schninks.
Yeah,
Schninks.
absolutely.
I would definitely see that. It would improve Annie 100%, Tommy.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. I guarantee
It
it.
really would. It would be the first
What
time
about you,
I
Whitney?
ever saw Annie that way. I think that he should be the next to star in Dear Evan Hansen, but they should just say that he's a high school student.
Yes.
Just
And he should
as
wear that
a
wig,
Wolverine's-
Logan high school student.
Wolverine's a high school student. He's got.
Yeah.
Does he have the cast? I mean, he can heal pretty well.
He
still has the cast.
The secret is that the claws are underneath the cast, and nobody knows. And nobody knows. And that's how he gets them.
I think I like it. The big number right before intermission is him bursting through the cast with the claws,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't need this.
Exactly.
I'm going to be waving through the window now, but
Yeah.
Jess, do you want to go with Music Man, or
Yeah.
do you have another one?
No, okay, so I have 2.
Oh, boy.
Two.
I would love
I don't know if
to
that's
see,
allowed, but I'll allow it.
Okay, well, I'm thinking of Logan. I'm thinking of Logan version of Wolverine. So
Yeah.
older, sadder, drunk Wolverine. And I want him in Stomp because I think he needs to get deep into his feelings with music and a broomstick.
God.
But if it wasn't Stomp, I think he could easily be typecasted in Cats. And
Yes.
it would be very,
Oh.
It would be
Logan,
very
you are the
sexy.
jellicle choice.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, that puts a whole new spin on memories, right? Because he doesn't
Yes,
have his
that's
memories.
right.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Shit.
he's
that's
longing for his own memories.
Yes. Oh, man.
Oh, I love all these. Guys, I love a Broadway question. That's why I put it in there. And I think
Yes.
you all had great answers.
Yes.
If I had to pick a favorite, I mean, I love the idea of seeing Wolverine as Little Orphan Annie.
Yes!
So, Tommy, I'm going to give you the rogue point for that one. But that leaves us with a tie.
Oh,
we have
no.
a tie today.
Oh, wow.
Jessica and Tommy are both our winners.
Shoulda
on this
chose
episode.
Stomp.
Should have chose Stomp, I guess.
Shoulda
There's
chose
not enough
Stomp,
singing for me in
baby.
Stomp, Jessica.
That's
I
true.
need to see the songs.
I like
gotta see the
rhythm.
songs.
I like beats.
Oh, they all got rhythm. That's it for this episode of Rogue Theory. Thanks to our guests so much, Jessica Clemons, Whitney Van Laningham, and Tommy Bechtold. Support our channel by checking out all of our awesome merch over at newrockstarsmerch.com. And if you've got some thoughts on our Rogue Theories or have some Rogue Theories of your own, you could share them on our Discord. If you're over 18, click the link for the new Rockstars Discord server in the description below and come join the conversation. Follow me at Grin and Barrick. Follow New Rockstars on all social platforms, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel here on YouTube. That's why I said it 3 times. See you next time. Goodbye. Woo!